I love my character. It's a strange thing when it's very different to doing a film or something which is a short amount of time. When you spend day in, day out as one character, it's amazing how much time you spend as somebody else. And even with a character like mine, I really love her, and you sort of get to understand the character. I think with a character in a soap, you have to very much find it as you go along. Yeah. You get given, obviously, you get prepped, and there's lots of meetings about character and where they fit in to the show and to the village. But I think you definitely find it as you go along, and it's actually amazing how I can go from having a really nice sort of calm chat with my colleagues to being really crazy, like the drop of a hat. It's amazing. Just sort of learn how to do it.
Yeah. You've located your inner villain?
Oh, massively. And I think it's made me a nicer person in real life, because I sort of spend most of my time being really awful to people here, and then in outside of work life, I find myself just being so much nicer to people. Yeah, get all my anger out of work. It's like therapy and work.
So do you actually see you're nominated as Villain of the Year? Do you actually see Sienna as a total villain?
No, she's not. I mean, she's a baddie. She does terrible things, but I think she's a really interesting villain, because she's not black and white at all. She has a crazy way of going about things, but for the most part, she really believes that what she's doing is for the best, and also that she's left no choice but to do whatever it is that she's doing. So I think she's also a really sad and vulnerable character, and also you have to give her a break. When you look at her father and her mother and the sort of upbringing that she had, it's not really a surprise that she's turned out to be how she is. So she's definitely in the villain category, but I think we can have some understanding for why she's like that.
There's a big development in Sienna's sort of search for her daughter next week, I believe.
Yes, definitely. So, as we know, Sienna has thought most of her life that her daughter is dead. So she sort of mourns this daughter, and now she has found out the daughter is alive and is in the village, apparently. And she believes this character of Perry is her daughter. So for the last few months, that's been her driving force. She's been getting to know Perry and forming a bond with her, and she has built it all up to the moment where she says, "I'm your mum." But unfortunately, before she gets there, she finds out that she's not. She plans to kidnap Perry or rescue her, as she sees it. She's been spending a lot of time in the Lomax family, which is Perry's family, and she thinks they're doing a terrible job at bringing her up, and that she's really miserable, and she wants to save her from this life by saying, "I'm your mum, and I've got all this love, and I'm going to give it to you." So she takes her off to see a Vamps concert, which is Perry's favourite band. But unfortunately, the family call the police and say she's gone off with our daughter, and we don't know where she is. She's kidnapped her, and obviously with Sienna's track record, everyone panics, and she gets arrested and explains herself. But Leela, who is her friend in the Lomax family, confronts her and says, "So how could you do this? I really trusted you." And that's when Sienna comes out with it, and she says, "I wasn't kidnapping her, I'm her mum." But unfortunately, Leela is actually Perry's mum. So she turns around and says, "You can't be, because I am." So that really sends sort of Sienna crashing back down, because she didn't even she's way past it, considering that it might not be her child. And then to have it taken away in that moment just completely devastates her. Hi, so you have about a week left to vote in the Soap Awards this year. So we would really, really, really like you to vote all things Hollyoaks. We have 3 people in the Best Villain category. There's myself, there's Trevor and Fraser. So as long as you vote for one of us, we'll bring the award home. We'll be very happy. Thanks.